It's in the light heavyweight division. The referee for this contest is Lindsey Page. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks and weighing in at 172 pounds from Charlotte, North Carolina. His record 4-2, 3 of those 4 victories by KO. Introducing KC at the bat, Trusdale. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the silver trunks with black trim, weighing in at an even 170 pounds from Hartsdale, New York, undefeated 7-0-1, 3 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Zenner.
Okay, you understand the rules, right? You understand the rules? I want you to obey my commands at all times. All right, tell bells go back.
Nice stare down. 20-year-old Darren Zenner, born and raised in Grand Prairie, Alberta in Canada, lived 2 years in Las Vegas, and now in Hartsdale, New York. That's 26-year-old KC Trusdale from Charlotte, North Carolina. KC is 5'7.5". Zenner is 6'2".
The last time we saw Darren Zenner was at the Blue Horizon, April 16th against Norman Bell in a wild 4-rounder. He ended up winning, but it went back and forth. It was the classic Blue Horizon bout.
Zenner is now being trained by Tommy Gallagher, and that's thus the move to New York.
Tommy Gallagher will be a busy man here, working with Zenner and then working with Sergei Artemiev. Next up, his battle with Kenny Bazemore.
Right hand by Trusdale got in.
Both these men are stand-up boxers pretty much, Zenner especially. And one of the things they're working on with him is to not keep his head so high up and make it such an easy target.
Zenner, growing up in Grand Prairie, Alberta, was an Edmonton Oilers fan until the Oilers traded Wayne Gretzky to the LA Kings, and now he roots for the Kings.
I imagine they lost a few fans at that time. Not Scotty Olsen, though. Last week, remember, after he won, he had his Edmonton Oiler uniform on.
And Zenner is a good friend of Scotty Olsen. Zenner's got some redness and looks like a little bit of a nick over the left eye. He's got a cut over the left eye. Quickly, good right hand by Trusdale. And that landed on that cut. Zenner could have some problems here.
Kind of off to the side, but still may be in a spot where it might affect him, as you said. Blood is trickling down the side of the left eye.
Trusdale, who turned pro December of 1990, had only one fight in 1991. Just couldn't get much activity. And this is his 4th fight this year. Won 2 by a knockout and then lost a 6-round decision June 17th in Atlanta, Georgia to Garrett Anderson.
Trusdale's jab has been fairly effective. Zenner, you would think, would out-jab him. That's his stock in trade, but Trusdale's been able to land his as well.
It's like Zenner's trying to land that left hook, leading with that left hook, and hasn't been able to get it in. That's good jab. Still to come, our main event, Sergei Artemiev and Kenny Bazemore, 10-round lightweight bout.
We'll also have a chance to chat with Bruce Selden here in between the first and second round, get his impressions of his win.
He's alongside here, ready to throw the jab at you, so watch out.
I know.
Good right hand by Trusdale.
And he landed a few of those tonight, didn't he?
End of round 1 of this 4-rounder. And they head off to their respective corners, and we join you from ringside.
Right back to the other way. You square up your opponent. Isn't that kind of a liability for you, Bruce?
Well, I try to confuse them, you know. I try to make everybody think I'm coming in as a left-hander, and, you know.
Okay, so you feel that's a confusing tactic for him.
Yeah, it is. And it works. It works, you know. I'm concentrating more on using my right jab as good as my left jab. And
I'd had to hurt to use the right jab, though, during the bout.
Bad. It's killing me
now. With this injury, how much might that set you back and set back your plans to make an assault on the top 10?
Well, if it's possible, Rocco the Persia is my manager. I'd like to bring him in to say a few words about my further.
First of all, you have to check out the right hand. See just what the slight damages and whatever time it takes to calm down. He's hurt his hand.
Are we
We're looking for somebody in the top 10. We're looking for Alex Garcia, Michael Moore. We'd love to get Ray Mercer back.
All right, we're having a hard time hearing you, Rocco, because we can't get a mic to you. But the gist of it is you're going to look for a top 10 guy and see how the hand progresses.
Yeah, we're going to take a little time to rest my hand, you know, get back into the gym. As you see, when I go away to train, I train. I do what I have to do.
Did you felt strong toward the end there?
I felt very strong. I felt very strong.
Bruce, thanks for joining us. Good luck, and hope the right hand gets better real soon.
Thank you.
Okay, Bruce Selden, who defeated Mike Dixon, one-sided heavyweight bout. They have another hand injury. Right here, this is round 2 of the scheduled 4-rounder.
Casey Trusdale is starting to get his right hand home on top of that jab.
Darren Zenner using his jab and throws the right hand. Zenner on the attack now. Zenner in the white. Zenner spent a couple of years in Las Vegas and just didn't feel that his career was being moved along by Kenny Adams and Johnny Taco. And hooked up with Johnny Masha, his new manager, and Tommy Gallagher, who's now training him.
Zenner and Trusdale's styles are so similar, Sam, that they're trying to get the same things done, and it's making for a fairly even fight, but difficult for either man to really take control here.
Just getting back to Bruce Selden for a minute now, that could be a major setback if he's got a broken thumb.
That would be very bad for him, and under those circumstances, that performance he gave takes on a new light, because with that hand being injured that early in the bout, obviously his only chance was to jab. I still have to respectfully disagree with his viewpoint on switching the way he did. And I'm not against switching. I just don't think the way he did it was the best, but he and Carmen Graziano feel it is.
Right here, Darren Zenner is the man coming on in this scheduled 4-rounder.
For his devastating left hook, but that was a good one that sent Trusdale back reeling against the ropes.
This is round 3. Zenner is undefeated, 7 wins, 1 draw. The draw against Jeff Sparks, November of 1991. 4-rounder. Zenner has never been beyond 4 rounds. Fairly close.
Yeah, Zenner with a very slim lead over Trusdale. And boy, Tommy Gallagher very animated in the corner in between rounds, telling Zenner, don't come back to this corner unless you throw some combination. I feel that Zenner is not being aggressive enough.
Trusdale with a little more movement.
It's interesting that we didn't hear Selden talk about his injured hand once even in the corner.
No, never let on.
Eavesdropped. So he kept that a secret even from the microphone in his corner.
Darren Zenner, boxing at 170 pounds, feels he can go either way. He can fight at light heavyweight, or if need be, if there's something better in the offing, he could go to 168 at a super middleweight.
I could see that with his frame. I would think that is a good possibility. He's still in the stages where he's got some things to learn before he even thinks about what weight he can move up in the standings.
Trusdale, despite the height disadvantage, has not, well, now he works his way in with a couple of good shots. Really hasn't gotten inside on Zenner.
He's doing a pretty good defensive job, though, Trusdale. Getting hit with some shots, a counter jab by him. This bout is sitting there for either man to win, really. And you can sense the frustration, at least in Zenner's corner, for sure. The voice of Tommy Gallagher.
Corner did a good job on that cut over the eye of Zenner.
Zenner had Norman Bell in a lot of trouble early and let him come back a bit. He really won the 4-round decision, the one I alluded to earlier.
Right hand counter by Zenner. Tries to press the attack.
I think that one really stunned him. I think Zenner could go after him with a jab and a straight right hand now. I think that really stunned Trusdale. And Zenner has done nothing about it since. He may not be able to go back to his corner.
There's the straight right hand that scored. Belt line with that right hand. End of round 3. 4 against Casey Trusdale. Between rounds, Tommy Gallagher had this to say to his man, Darren Zenner.
You gotta have some combinations, and you're not throwing combinations. You're looking just to load up with the right hand.
Yeah, that's right.
I want him out of there, Darren.
All right. Conviction in Tommy Gallagher's voice. What he means, of course, is that he's throwing those single right hands and trying to knock him out with one punch. You see how close this bout is. Zenner throwing more punches, but not landing that many more. They want him to throw a jab, 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 straight right hand, maybe come with a hook. He's just not doing that. Instead, he's letting Trusdale come through. And you know, Casey Trusdale, while he's a little behind in the scoring of the punch profile, has a shot at this bout. And if he were a little bit more aggressive, I'm sure they could be saying the same thing in his corner. Be more aggressive. Go after this guy. And KC's jab has been pretty good when he shows him to use it.
He just hasn't followed up with anything. In combination by Zenner. They both open up. Good exchange. Blood coming down from the nose of Darren Zenner.
Darren Zenner has really not tried to come with the right hand right behind that jab a lot.
Zenner pushed the referee. He got out of his way. He needed some room to move. Slapping left hook by Zenner. Trusdale missing.
Years ago, in my very brief amateur boxing career, I remember pushing referee, doing the exact same thing, pushing referee out of the way because I personally wanted to get out of the way of some punches. And he pushed me back. He said, "Don't you ever do that to me again." I said, "Get out of my way, pal." He made the mistake thinking I wanted to be in front of that guy. He tried to punch. Good right hand by Zenner. And that's where Tommy Gallagher wants to fight. He wants him to continue with that pressure.
Zenner countering, and a good straight right hand scores, sending Trusdale back. Zenner missed the right hand. Zenner being urged to come on.
He hurt him with the hook.
And there's a cut over the left eye of Casey Trusdale with blood dripping down.
Let me tell you, Zenner's going to hear it from Tommy Gallagher now and in the gym and for every day until his next bout that he didn't go after Casey Trusdale more. Give Trusdale some credit, too, for hanging in there.
Finished up with some good action and a little bit bloodied.
Pretty close bout.
I thought Zenner won 3 rounds to 1.
I agree. Trusdale, though, feeling that he won it. But we would expect him to cast the dissenting vote, wouldn't we?
Yes. Here on Top Rank Boxing, ranked number 3 in the world. He'll take on Sammy Fuentes. It all begins at 9. Harris, whose last bout was against Lamar Parks for the NABF Middleweight Championship. Parks stopped Harris in the 10th round. A good bout. Harris started well early, and then Parks came on and took him out. Michael Buffer will announce the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, all 3 judges scored about the same. Phil Newman, Frank Burnett, and Al DeVito have it 39-37 for the winner by unanimous decision, Darren Zenner.
All 3 judges unanimous for Darren Zenner. Coming up next, it's Ringside Report, and then our main event, Sergey Artemiev and Kenny Bazemore. Don't go away.